Hello, YouTube friends. My name is Constance, and this is Cruelty-Free Musings. Welcome to my channel and to a Project Pan update. Hooray! Today, we will be updating the Team Project Pan, which is a year-long full-face Project Pan. It is a collaborative Project Pan run by Kat and Haley of Beauty News. All of their stuff will be linked down below as usual. And of course, if you are interested in finding other people who are participating in this sort of tag pan, it's open to the entire community. All you have to do is search the hashtag teamprojectpan on whatever format, whatever social media you are most invested in. I believe it's active on Facebook, I know it's active on Instagram, and of course it is active on YouTube. So if you are interested in following other creators in this Team Project Pan journey, that is an option which is available to you by searching that tab. All right, so here we are at the end of April, ready to update on my progress. Computer, my device needs to restart. Good. Perfect. This is not the time, computer. Back to where we were before my computer so rudely interrupted me with its need to restart to install updates. Whatever that's about. We are doing the April update for Team Project Pan. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright. As an example that my progress this month has been minimal, I'm going to show you this thing, which I introduced last month. It is a great honking thing of lotion, which I basically use every day. I skip like a day or two here and there because now that we're rolling into summer, my hands aren't as dry. So, but I basically use this every day. Bear uses it sometimes. He has his own bottle of lotion, but he does use this one. It's a really nice lotion. I use one full pump of it on my hands whenever I'm lotioning my hands before bed. It's a great lotion, and the reason that it is in this project is so that I can kind of track how fast we go through a bottle this big. It is 26.5 fluid ounces or 783 mils. What possessed? I actually think that Bear bought this. I told him to get a lotion that was like moisturizing for super dry skin, and I think he just bought the largest bottle he could find. But anyway, this lotion is old and it's from a non-cruelty free brand, so I'd like to move it out of my collection for two reasons. And I would also like to know how long it takes me to go through, you know, this amount of lotion. And the answer is a long time. I mean, it's meant to be a body lotion, to be fair. Like, it's meant to be slathered all over your entire body and to deeply moisturize all of your body's skin. Really, the only part of me that gets dry is my face and my hands. Face, I don't have a good explanation for why my face gets dry, but it does seem to respond better to moisturizing and hydrating ingredients. But my hands, I know why they get super dry. It's because I wash them a lot, because I'm a little neurotic about germs and I also work in food prep. in food service. My hands get dry. I know why they get dry. They get less dry in the summer, so I have been skipping the occasional day. And also, my progress on this is abysmal. There we go. That was a lot of talking about that. Let us carry on to another body care thing. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is the little spatula that comes with it that I store on top of it. And that is a really visible bare spot on the bottom of the tub of Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. So I have used, let's show you this progress. I have used all the way down to the bottom of that tub, but I have only used maybe 1/8 of this. Despite that, my goal on this was to hit pan on it. I did that. I cleared out a little segment of the bottom there, as is invariably the way with my particular project pans, because I only have a couple of days when it is possible for me to film, so I can't put off filming for an extra day because I think I'm getting close to hitting pan. So the day after I filmed, I hit the teeniest little bit of pan, and I have been working away diligently on it ever since. So why am I rolling this out? Because I am. It's because, number one, I hit my goal. Number two, this is just my overnight lip treatment now. I don't need an extra reason to use this because it just sits beside my bed and it's part of my nightly routine to, to take a little spatula full of mask, lip balm, and put it on my lips. It does a good job, and I will get something else once I've used that up. But in the meantime, it works well. It works way better than the lip oil that I got with the thought that I would enjoy. I don't have an explanation. All right. I will show you the things that I'm rolling in to replace those things at the end of the video. And this is partly because I realized that I have a thing that I'm going to weigh, and I left my scale in the kitchen. All right. This is something that I introduced at the last update. It looks identical to the thing that I was working on for, 3 months. But it is in fact the Shade and Light Quad in Smoke. I realize, I think I did not actually show it to you before. But I haven't used it that much. So you weren't missing that much. But it's difficult to actually show where the deepest part. There we go. I feel like that probably shows. That probably shows you. I have a good little trench there. I use a little stiff angled brush because I use this color to fill in my brows. It works really well. It's maybe a little warm for my brows, but that's fine. I use this maybe 15 times because I just don't remember to do my brows that often. Case in point, nothing in my brows today. Unlike many people who feel like they need brows and mascara, I have decent enough brows that I feel fine walking out of the house without meticulously sculpting a natural feathered brow. So I'm trying to integrate this into my tool set, this concept of filling in my brows. I feel like probably eventually I'm going to replace this with a brow pomade. Obviously I have not hit pan on this yet. I anticipate right now just using it till I get sick of it. 6 months to the end of the year, somewhere in that time range, and then throwing out this quad. And because actually the only shade in here that I actually use is the one for my brows. So at some point when I get really tired of this, I am going to just get rid of it and replace it with probably a brow pomade of some description. We'll see what what mood I am in when it comes time to replace it. All right. Another thing that I introduced last month, this I actually have really good progress on. All right, so that is where I was last time. You can see I used about half-ish of it before introducing it, and then that is where I am now. Let me mark that. All right, so I am there. Let's put it on the other side. I am there. Hi. Tell me more. Come on. Hi. What's up? Are you the saddest kitty? Hello. What's up? He's the saddest kitty. All right. So that is my progress. I have used about half of what was left. In 1 month, it'll definitely be done. Next month, it's already to the stage where it's kind of difficult to get enough out to do all of my nails. But for reference, I paint my nails basically every 5 days. So it's like kind of on a rolling schedule. Every 5 days or so, I'll decide that my nail polish looks awful. I'll take it off, and then usually I'll repaint it that day. But maybe, sometimes I repaint it the second day, the next day or 2 days or whatever. My kitty is too sad. Let me go and deal with him. The sun is lowering in the sky, and so he needs to be fierce. Where was I? I was talking about this. Oh, yes. I use this basically once a week. Pretty much, I'll take off my nail polish, then I'll put a layer of it over my nails. And the thing about this formulation specifically is that it's kind of sheer, but you can build it up so that it looks like a milky peach, like it appears in the tube. It can basically look like that on your nails. If you put on a really thin layer, yeah, it looks sheer and like just a bare tint of orange. But if you layer it up a little bit, or you're not super careful at getting out all of the brush marks, it can look a little streaky and cloudy. So usually I paint over it immediately. Usually. Sometimes I manage to get a thin enough layer that it doesn't build up on itself. But in general, especially this far down in the bottle, it's a little bit dried out. It's a little difficult to control. I'm definitely glad that I'm using it up now at this point. It works fine as a base product. It doesn't keep my nail polish on particularly long, but it's fine. It functions. It's a nice little lip nail treatment. So I will definitely use it up, and then I have another nail treatment which I will use up after that one's gone. So la-di-da. So, next thing. I guess let's do this. All right. This is the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lipstick. Hi. In November. I've had this in since the beginning of the project. My goal was to use it up. It has basically been sitting right there despite my best efforts. I did legitimately try to use this up for about a month, probably a month and a half. Like, I used up Lumiere a week into March, and then I tried really hard to make significant progress on this. And the thing that I discovered is that I hate how this formula looks on my lips by about halfway through the day. I don't know if it's that this particular formula has gone bad, or if it's, whether it's the age of this one, whether it's the color of this one, because Echo Park doesn't seem to do that for me, but it's also a color that's a lot closer to my lips. So it could be that it's like, it could just be that I noticed that this was looking awful on me halfway through the day because I wore it basically every day for a month and a half. But anyway, halfway through April, I was like, I hate using this. I am not going to force myself to use this for the rest of this month, and we'll see how I feel when we get to the update. Here we are at the update. I'm rolling this out. I don't care that I made a goal to use this up. I don't want to use it. I don't like it. So it's like the opposite of why I'm rolling out the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. That one, I hit my goal. I'll happily keep using it until it's used up, and then I'll replace it with something that's cruelty-free. This, I actively hate the thing. And I don't know if it's that I suddenly hate the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip Formula, or if it's that I hate specifically this color and how it wears on my lips, since it is a very noticeable color on me. It's difficult to tell in the bottle in this lighting, but I have made the point before, it is very orange. Like, it is close to the color of my shirt. You can kind of see. It's very orange. And it looks out of place on my lips. And I'm done. I'm done with using November. It's going in the trash. Goodbye. That is very freeing. All right. Now the other lip thing that I put in here. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Lumiere. I used up the Lippy sticks in Lumiere. That was easy to do. This one, I sharpened it after I introduced it. I forgot to mark it. I apologize. And then I have sharpened it once since then. I have been doing a reasonable job at using this. I quite like it paired with something that I'm going to be rolling into this project, and that's part of why I'm rolling this thing in. But I have made not very much progress on this. But, it's chugging along. This is one of my oldest lip pencils. I want to use it up. or at least, like, pay more attention to it. All right, next up, the Old Faithful. This is my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Does it look different yet? Well, you can tell that the middle is worn away where I hit my brush into the middle. I am not gentle with this bronzer. But you can see, even in the middle, the pattern is not completely worn away. So I'm making progress. I am using it almost every day. Almost every day. I'm not wearing it today, but I wear it almost every day. And I am making progress, I tell myself. I tell myself diligently, you know, regularly. I tell myself, you are making progress. Whether that's a delusion, we shall see. It might be a delusion. My butter bronzer's in the shade Light. I don't think that I've actually mentioned that in any Project Pan update, but it's the only bronzer that I own, and you can see it in any of my description boxes pretty much any day that I come on and am recording, apart from today, because I'm wearing no makeup today, basically. I'm wearing that bronzer. So, moving on. This is another thing that has no apparent progress. This is the bareMinerals Gen Nude Powder Blush in On the Mauve. Another thing that shows up in my description box very often. The goal is to hit pan. Observe, there is no pan. I am wearing this today. I quite like it. You know, it's a nice blush. It is a good everyday blush. I wear it most days. I might hit pan. We'll see. Someday. Last thing in the project currently, this is ColourPop Flexitarian. I have been using this diligently. I feel like I know that I'm making progress. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. But you can see that the middle section there is kind of roughed up, but no pan yet. Someday there will be pan. Stuck my nail into it at the edge. There's definitely no pan there at the edge. Let's let's salvage the highlight. I don't know if you'll be able to tell anything, but look at that. Look, that's how shiny my fingers are. Yeah. This highlighter is really pretty, and I enjoy wearing it, and I have gotten pretty skilled at using it in a low-key sort of way. Sort of low-key. Not really low-key, but as low-key as this highlighter gets. Which is to say, very shiny, but not actually a strip of mirror. Alright. This scale weighs up to 2 pounds of things. So I figured that that would be useful for both of my hobbies, for makeup and for yarn/fibery things. Generally pretty light. Alright, so this is the first thing that I'm rolling in. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in Swan. And I learned my lesson with the first foundation, which is I love this foundation. I love how it looks applied with a brush. I love how it looks applied with a sponge. I have to mix it with another foundation because the color is very wrong. It's about a shade and a half dark for me, and it is also very yellow. Too Faced has recently expanded the shade range of this foundation, and there is a color which is this depth but has pink undertones, which is Marshmallow, and there is one which is the lightest possible shade and which has pink undertones, and that one is Cloud. Once I use this up, I will be replacing with one of those. Probably Cloud. I might pick up Marshmallow at some point because it would be useful to have together with Cloud, because Cloud is definitely not going to be my summer shade. I don't change color that much, but I change color a little bit. So this is the first thing that I'm rolling in, and I'm going to be weighing it because you can kind of see progress, but it's like first of all, I haven't used that much of it, and second of all, I I haven't used that much of it, and it's kind of difficult to track the progress visually. Like, it's kind of scooped, but I mean, all right. So this has 1.6 fluid ounces theoretically. Let's see. Be stable. All right. We have a weight of we have a weight of 2 ounces exactly. My scale is analog, so I had to look really closely. 2 ounces exactly is the starting weight of this foundation, so I am going to use this diligently with the intention of using it up. I have to mix it to correct the shade, which is great because this makes a foundation that I have, which is the correct shade, wear really beautifully and look gorgeous on the skin. So I anticipate no problems using this. I might get a little tired of it. Maybe not. We'll see. Every time I wore this as like a palette cleanser, when I was trying to use the Burt's Bees Goodness Glows foundation, I looked at my skin and I was like, oh, my skin looks so pretty. And it has really decent lasting power, and it stays decently matte. I don't get super shiny, but I do get a little bit shiny here on my forehead. My chin, I think, probably also gets oily. It tends to look really, it tends to look like there's little bits of powder separated on separated from my skin and just sitting on top of it at the end of the day. No matter what concealer or foundation I'm using, whether or not I'm using a powder, whether or not I'm using a primer, this foundation also does that. So, like, it's not perfect. I have yet to find a foundation that wears nicely on my chin. But I'm also very hard on my makeup. I tend to wear it for, like, let's see, I put it on at 6:30, and then I generally look at it at 8:30, and then I judge it. So yeah, a normal day for me is 14 hours. This looks decent for 14 hours. So, hooray, it lives up to its claims. So, and then the next thing, obviously I'm trying to use it up because it is the incorrect shade. I love the formula, but I want to use it so that I can replace it with a shade that matches me better. All right. The last thing which I'm rolling in is this little mini. This is a Bite. I don't think it's an amuse-bouche. It is an amuse-bouche. It's an amuse-bouche liquefied lip. The shade is Whip. And this is a nude color. And this is not a color that I can wear by itself. Like, just, you know, this is the makeup that I typically went for before I got really into makeup, which is mascara, concealer, a bold lip. Like, this was how I walked around on a daily basis in college. Or just the bold lip and nothing else. So, like, this is not a color that I can do that with at all. But it is a really nice color to wear with a more defined and structured eye look. With foundation, it looks really nice paired with Lumiere. This one is significantly darker, you can see, and a little bit gray, but the tones work together reasonably well, which you wouldn't necessarily expect. Like, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of a yellow-brown, right? It works pretty well with this mauve gray. So, I mean, that's good. I can wear this on its own with a more dramatic eye look, or lined for a, lined with this for a less dramatic eye look, or I can put this all over my lips and then cover it with this for a different color. So there's 3 different ways to combine these. These combine really well, so that's great. Let us measure this and see where we are starting. It's hard to tell. I think it says something around 20 grams. It might be a little less than 20 grams, maybe 18 grams or so. But it's a mini. It's gonna, it doesn't have a ton of product in it. Like, it's not even measurable on the ounces side. So, yeah. So, we'll be generous and we'll call it 18 ounces. No, 18 grams. We will give ourselves a generous starting point and say 18 grams for this little amuse-bouche liquefied lip, which is really comfortable to wear and a nice color, which I can wear in multiple combinations with my other lip thing, which is in this project. So that's great. All right. So I hope you enjoyed or learned something, or both. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you feel like, and goodbye for now.